There is a number in your bank account, and the world can smell it. At the bottom, it makes you invisible, a ghost with a pulse. At the top, it makes you a king that people line up to lie to. Same man, same face. The only thing that ever moves is the number. And the number is really just one thing, a signal. Attraction at every level is people reading the signals they can see. This is what each level of money does to the way women read you. From the gutter to the jet, we start in the gutter, and the gutter teaches the cruelest lesson of all, that down here, you are not even being rejected. Level 1. Nothing. You're 22, $11 until Friday. A mattress on the floor, 2 roommates, a car that starts on the 3rd try, if you ask it nicely. You stretch your budget to get into a bar. You buy a drink for a woman across the room. She says thank you. She walks away. You will call that rejection for years. It wasn't rejection. Rejection needs evaluation first, and she never evaluated you at all. You were below the line where the sorting even begins. That is the real brutality of the bottom. You aren't disliked. You aren't seen. A blank page doesn't get a bad review. It just doesn't get read. And the $14 drink didn't fail because it was only $14. It failed because it was a stranger handing over money with no signal attached. It said transaction. It said nothing about who you are. Because at 22, neither do you. You ride the bus past restaurants you can't walk into, watching the warm light through the glass. You ask a girl named Dana to dinner. She says she's busy. She isn't busy. She's just not busy for you. At this level, you are invisible and expensive at the same time. The worst seat in the house. You are nothing, not because of what you lack, because of what you have not yet learned to say. Then a paycheck lands, and you learn the bottom was never really about money. It was about signal. And signal, unlike luck, is something a man can build. You make a dating profile, and for the first time, your whole self gets compressed into proxies. She can't feel a room turn toward you through a screen. She can't hear your timing. So she reads what she can, the photos, the job, the way you build a sentence. That isn't shallow. It's exactly what you do every time you swipe. It's how anyone moves through too many options with too little information. You're a maybe now, in the rotation, the 11 o'clock text, not the Saturday plan. Close enough, finally, to see the table you still aren't sitting at. And the data is quietly useful. The women who let you pay and never reach for anything back, no offer, no next round, tend to be the same ones who introduce you to their friends as nobody in particular. That doesn't make them villains. It makes them people with options, spending attention where it pays. The honest question isn't, why won't she invest in me? It's the harder one. Am I yet someone worth investing in? At 25,000, the true answer is partly. You're being built. That is not a failure. That is the job. You are a maybe. The door is unlocked now. Proxies get you to the door. They don't open it. Add 1 digit to the number, and the proxies stop being something you scrape together. They start arriving in the room before you say a word. Level 3, the option. You're 30, 100,000 a year. You say what you do on a first date, and you watch your posture change. A small lean, 2 inches across the table. That lean is not greed. It's her long game, waking up, reading stability, direction, a man who might still be climbing in 10 years. Understanding that doesn't make it less real. It makes it less personal. This is where the whole thing turns. Quietly, like a tide you notice only once your feet are already wet. A woman moves her Saturday for you. 6 years ago, you couldn't get a maybe. Now she rearranges her week just to be seen with you. And nobody warns you how good it feels. Anyone who says the climb isn't a thrill never crawled up from $11. The first time the world tilts toward you instead of away is one of the great feelings a man ever gets to have. You stand differently. You take up the room. You stop apologizing for being in the doorway. You pick the restaurant now. And nobody flinches at the prices. You are an option, a real one, the actual plan, not the safe text. And for the first time in your life, you're the one doing the choosing. But the lean came with the number. Hold on to that. It matters later. Then the business sells, the number jumps a whole digit, and you stop being chosen at all, because now they come to you. The question changes from who wants you to why. Level 4, the catch. You're 38, $1 million, sitting in accounts that make money while you sleep. The math of your life flips upside down. You used to scan a room for who might say yes. Now you walk in and feel the room find you. Attention, moving across a space like heat looking for skin. Women who'd have filed you under no at 22 now call you grounded, interesting, different. You didn't get better looking, you got fundable. The project finally paid off, and the world can read a balance sheet from across a bar. You are a catch, the word men reach for their whole lives. And it is intoxicating. Let no one lie to you about that. There's a clean, animal thrill in being wanted after years of being passed over, in watching the same species that filed you under no now lean in to keep your attention. Then you change one line on your profile. Same face, same photos, new job title. The matches multiply overnight. You did it, have to test a theory you'd been forming, and the proof arrives cold and exact. It doesn't make them wrong. A title is a signal, and people use the signals they're handed. You filter them by their photos first, but it teaches you the gap that will quietly run the rest of your life. The gap between being seen and being known. And the higher you climb, the wider that gap gets, until you would pay almost anything for one room where it closes. Level 5, the prize. You're 43, $10 million. A different planet. The air is thinner up here. You don't book the table, it's held. You don't chase, you select. The penthouse looks out over the city you once crossed by bus with $11 in your pocket. And on a clear night, you can almost see the corner where a girl named Dana told you she was busy. The women at this altitude aren't just beautiful, they're sharp, accomplished, used to the heat finding them too. And they choose you, the kid with the mattress on the floor. It feels like winning, because it is. Anyone who pretends this isn't the dream was never the ghost with a pulse. Then, your ex, from the 25,000 years, texts your new number, a number she should not have, to congratulate you on the exit. You wonder how she got it. You think about the answer for 1 second, and then you make yourself stop. Because information runs toward money the way water runs downhill. It isn't personal, it's gravity. You are a prize now, displayed, envied, pursued. And the cold thought you've been outrunning since the first lean across a table finally finds the door and learns the way back in. Every one of them knew the number before they knew your name. Climb one more level, and you can't even ask that question yourself anymore, because at the next number, you have to hire someone to ask it for you. Level 6, the kingdom. You're 48, $100 million. You're not rich anymore. You're an institution. People you used to read about answer your texts. Doors with no handles open as you approach. But a kingdom doesn't date. A kingdom vets. There's a prenuptial agreement 40 pages deep. There's a lawyer who sits, in effect, in the room with you and the woman you think you might love, taking quiet notes on what she could one day be owed. And that document is not the cold thing here. It's the most honest paper most couples ever sign. It says out loud what the bottom never had to. That love and money are two separate things, arriving on two different timelines. Money just builds the legal house faster than the heart can move in. You date a woman with her own fortune, and for a moment, the fog lifts. She doesn't need yours. Then she introduces you at dinner as your portfolio. Not cruel, not even conscious, but the word lands. Because at 100 million, you are no longer only resources. You're access, network, a category, with a person somewhere down inside it. And you missed the $14 bar. The place where a gesture was small enough to be honest, with nothing downstream. Every gesture has a downstream now. You are a kingdom, and you've started to wonder whether anyone inside the walls can see you, or only the glow. Then comes the last level, the one where you get absolutely everything, and pay for it with the single thing no fortune on earth can buy back. Level 7, the god they pray to for rain. You're past 50, $1 billion. There's no chase left, no door left to open. The most beautiful, most brilliant people alive arrange their lives around the chance, just the chance of standing near you. You're not a man anymore. You're weather, a god they pray to for rain. A woman crosses a room toward you, extraordinary by any measure, clearly prepared for the conversation. You know exactly what it is. You go along with it anyway, because knowing the mechanism never once turned off the feeling. The feeling says she finds you compelling. The data says she read about you before she stood up. Both are true. Neither cancels the other. That gap is just the country you live in now. Then, at a family dinner, your 8-year-old niece asks why you always have a different lady at things. The table laughs. You don't. Because a child just described your life more precisely than your publicist ever has. You own everything the kid behind the glass once stared at. The jet is real. The yacht is real. The woman on the deck is more beautiful than anything that ever told you it was busy. And here is the bill, the one you can never pay. You will never know, not once, for the rest of your life, will you be certain that a single one of them would have crossed the street for the man with $11. The number walks into every room before you do. No one will ever meet you first again. Somewhere right now, there's a man with $11 until Friday. His car won't start. A woman just told him she was busy. He is certain his life is the worst seat in the house, and he is counting the days until the number changes and everything finally gets good. He's right. It does get good. Better than he can picture. He just doesn't know that tonight, with empty pockets, he owns the one thing all of it can never buy back. The proof that someone could want him with nothing to gain. Neither did you.